All right, all right, all right, all right. Peace, power, and profit to the family today. It is going down. Breaking news, as you guys have already witnessed yourselves throughout your public and local areas around the country, in this case, around the world, where we're now witnessing the insurrection of the Trump coup being orchestrated and administered right now. We have protesters who have stormed the Capitol building here in the DC region. They've overtaken the Senate chamber itself, which they had members that were still in there barricaded in with chamber police and Secret Servicemen at the ready with their weapons drawn to fire at protesters if they was to breach the inside. We found out later that protesters had scaled in from the top of the chamber and got inside of the Senate chamber. Yet there's no one being shown where they were firing weapons at these protesters, these people who have stormed the Capitol building during the midst of a procedure with the Electoral College vote process to be solidified by the Vice President Mike Pence, who decided not to go along with the Trump coup. And because of that, there's been this mob of people who have left the planned staged area that Trump had for the rally for this so-called quote-unquote insurrection and took it to the steps of the Capitol building, which they obviously have overrun the security. Again, this is in America in 2020, where you have the National Guard that was supposed to be on deck to protect these federal buildings were called and told to stand down by the White House. The Pentagon was called or directed by the White House to stand down, meaning the National Guard to not show up to protect the Capitol building. So these white mobsters, call them what they are, can storm the building and overtake it, which they done. There's large values of damage that's been obviously videoed. Glass has been broken, windows been shattered. Things have been moved around, of course, in this case. They're also uh, reporting that actually shots were fired. Some people would like to say that it was, rubber bullets. No, but it could be a mixture of both. We don't know the full details of that yet. There's more information coming out as we speak. This is uh, them banging on the Senate chamber to get in with pictures, still pictures of the Secret Service and police chamber members, again, having their weapons drawn at the ready, pointed at the faces of these protesters who are staring at them, literally still trying to break into the chamber, and yet no one is being shown being fired at. There's no rubber bullets being dispatched in a way that they did with the Black Lives Matter protesters who were just, obviously trying to protest against police brutality. There's no, again, presence of force, a government, a policing value that we saw with the Black Lives Matter. Of course, I'm not a proponent of Black Lives Matter, but I'm just showing you the stark contrast and how this country polices its members of society, if you want to call it that. It protects its privilege, right? There was no National Guard standing on the Capitol building steps to detour anybody. It was just a free fall, run in, overtake the little, weak security that they had already up there, and now they've overtaken the Capitol building. All these people who flew in from all around the country to protest this so-called election, electoral college procedure protest, have all this energy and the resources to pull this. Again, this is a coup, as you see on my screen here, this attempted coup to not allow the so-called quote-unquote democratic process to happen. Yet we're still hearing no one has been fired upon by actual bullets. They waited literally to the last hour to even think about this deploying smoke canisters. They was just using basic pepper spray, and that was it. You had protesters who was actually hooking with the police. Of course, when we say hooking, of course, my fellow know what I'm talking about. It was swinging blows with the police and the security agents, and no one was getting arrested. They were just all out brawling with each other with batons and fist fights, and then the protesters that was fighting got up and just walked to the back, and the new wave came to the front and started fighting again. This is what we've always known to be in this country in terms when people of this magnitude get sick and tired of so-called quote unquote in their mind, of course, their mind, when I say that, they're a government, they have the right in their mind and the privilege to overtake the things that they have an issue with. And yet no one is obviously being, treated like animals. No one is being fired upon recklessly. No one, they're taking every precautionary step they can, meaning the people who are supposed to be securing these federal buildings are taking every precautionary step they can not to do harm to the protesters who have just interrupted the Senate chamber and the House of Representative chamber objection votes that was presented by the state of Arizona first. The first state to object to the electoral college process was the state of Arizona, right? The Senate that signed that objections was Ted Cruz out of Texas, because you need a Senate chair member to sign off on that to make it official. He went ahead and did that. By process of that, the Senate and the House had to retreat back to their respective chambers to now deliberate or debate the value of the objection. During that process, Mitch McConnell spoke, Chuck Schumer spoke in the Senate to combat the value of the objection. Nancy Pelosi kept going forward with the service that she was going to conduct in the House. And afterwards, it became apparent that the mob that was, again, over at the actual Trump rally place that they had set up began to move towards the Capitol building. Trump got into the barricaded beast. Obviously, y'all know the beast, or the SUV value version of the beast. Went back to the White House. He didn't even follow his protester that he had just enraged to now pull off this coup and raid the Capitol. He went back to the White House. He's been reported that he's sitting in the White House dining room, basically at the table with his phone, tweeting and watching all this stuff unfold. He has not gave the order to have the National Guard come in. Matter of fact, he was the one who blocked the National Guard from coming into play here to protect the Capitol building. He told the Pentagon to stand down and basically allow these protesters to overtake this Capitol building. The Senate chamber members, the House of Representative members, right, are now in a position now where they're pretty much have been moved to certain secure places, what they call bunker houses or safe places. At first, they were still locked into chamber. Again, after gas mask values were obviously told that they may need them in terms when they start to fire these so-called canisters, then it became apparent that these people, meaning the white mobsters that are overtaking the Capitol building, people are gonna say, well, they're just practicing their democratic process, right? They're practicing their ability to, practice their amendment rights or whatever the case like that, right? Now, you guys know as well as I know, right? There's no such thing as that in America. Let's keep it 100. At this level, where federal buildings are being overtaken, and people are just, as you see in this case, this is the picture of the people that's on the outside. The people that's inside the Capitol building that have laid siege to it, broke glass, broke stuff down, removed, torn up furniture, hooking with the police and the Secret Service members. They're on the inside right now, just laying siege. These people that's on the Capitol building pretty much have stormed it and saying, hey, only way we coming off these steps is y'all gonna have to bring in some tanks and some artillery. So this is the coup. This is the insurrection. This is the quote unquote the again, they got pictures right now that they're showing inside the Senate right now. Again, where some members that were unable to leave to go to the bunker houses or safe housing, they're now again hunkered in between the seats to not be obviously a casualty in the event that live rounds obviously have to be fired or dismissed at this point. And so we're witnessing again what we consider to be insurrection 101 of the Trump presidency going out with a quote unquote bang. Right, these are some of the mild pictures that are coming out, mild video free. I'm gonna move around to different ones, of course, as we go on here. But initially, of course, I want to be able to, show you guys what you already are seeing, of course. But the ideology behind this whole Trump energy, this somewhat, value of rage and resentment in a lot of ways dealing with this U.S. election, right? The stock markets were, again, climbing today on a flip-flop mentality because we know the markets are not loyal. We explained that several times. The markets are not loyal. It was already said that if the Senate was overtaken by the Democrats in terms of John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock was to win, that the market was potentially going to correct because they didn't want a Democratic power seated value to now lay lay siege to what Wall Street in terms of what taxation, et cetera, whatever the case. Then Wall Street turns and do what they always do. They flip the script and say, you know what? Oh, this is good. They runs the market up a whole percent plus because my calls benefited. I bought puts and calls like I explained last night. I understand how these people work. These people are greedy. They buzzers. They are parasites. They can care less. They have no ethical code. They are unmoral. It's all about the almighty dollar. That's what they submit to. And so I was prepared either way. In the event that Wall Street was going to pull a coup, after saying that they would sell off the market because they didn't want a Democratic control with Senate and House Representative and presidency, they flipped the script and tried to run the market up. And while big tech and Apple, Facebook, Google, Amazon was selling off, which they are selling off still right now, sat idle and sold off while they pumped up the SPY, pumped up the Dow. This is the Feds kicking in now. This is Jerome Powell cutting on the printing press to somewhat try to soften the blow of what other people were trying to do in terms of let this market correct. This is more than I can even begin to explain to you guys how people are and how they act, I should say, when they're put into these positions. Again, we spoke about this before. If COVID-19 has exposed, we're seeing it literally firsthand. Every aspect of this go down in real time, right? In terms of exactly, what a lot of people who tried to profess to do something that was positive for change did not have the privileges that we're seeing right now, being again just happening right now. Go down, and no one is being obviously, roughed up in a way that we saw with minor stuff that happened with people that were doing peaceful protests. These people literally have taken over Washington, right? They've literally taken over Washington, right? And no one, again, is doing anything about it, literally, on the government side of the house, right? No one is doing anything, right? Again, this is y'all know what it is, of course. You guys know what it is, right? Right? You guys know what it is, right? There's multiple different frames of that's being captured around the city, of course, in this case. But these people pretty much have done what they feel like they wanted to do. They've completed the task of overtaking the Capitol building. They're just hanging around now, pretty much like, squatters, and there's no police presence, right? At the level that you would think would be at this point, right? There's no, again, military presence in terms of National Guard. There's, it's again, couldn't make this stuff up, guys. Could not make this stuff up, right? Could not make this stuff up, right? They've overtaken pretty much every chamber in this whole entire Capitol building. The Rotunda, the House of Representatives, the Senate, right? Again, all these little small little places that you've seen throughout the years in terms of these so-called, in their mind, quote unquote, sacred places, where only people who have Congress statute have been able to kind of be in, unless you were privileged to get in there. Now it seems to be like a second-rate, Motel 6 at this point. The scent of smoke and sweat and rage and all that is just filling, and it's good because you know what? And I say it's good because if they convince themselves that this was not the kind of level of a threat that they were worried about, and they allowed business to go on as usual, and they didn't prepare for it, then they're getting exactly what they deserved. They're getting what they deserve. Where you, again, have a federal building that was unprotected. Unprotected. Knowing that it was going to get raided. knowing that it was going to get, pursued. And these people sat there and did what? Nothing. Because these are their uncles, their cousins, their brothers, their sisters, right? Their nieces, their nephews, their grandparents, there's elderly people that we saw out in the crowds and so forth on. Elderly people. And they're patting the police on the back like it ain't no big deal. As you see in the pictures here, police just walking around like it ain't nothing. These people been swinging on them, right? They all over the place, right? And this is again the mind frame of people who are supposed to be there to protect the quote unquote uh, uh the I should say the I don't even know which adjective to use now. I'm just sitting there dumbfounded like these like this couldn't even be something that I could even imagine in a movie, right? At the level where again it was somewhat like a reality show and it was like okay yeah it's staged, but this is happening in a way where they're pretty much saying we don't care about your election, we don't care about the process, the democratic quote unquote process. We're gonna do what we want to do, and ain't nothing you guys can do about it. And the Senate and the House, pretty much this federal institution, this building, acquiesce to it. They acquiesce to it. They're not calling for extreme retaliation, meaning people who are in power. They're sitting there, they have their lives literally, hanging in the whims of these people turning up their rage a little bit to another level. If they get to that point and really taking it, to the next level, they're willing to gamble on that at this point. Meaning the people who are in the House and the Senate who are still barricaded in for those who weren't able to get to a safer place, these so-called safe houses that's inside the so-called Capitol building, right? They're just watching this all unfold like this some kind of, oh, this is everyday business for us. The last time something like this ever happened in at this level, of course, in DC, do your research on that, right? Again, you're witnessing the insurrection, and you got tactical police moving around, but you have no military presence. You had a president that pretty much called the Pentagon and told them to stand down. He told the Pentagon to stand down from the dining room area of the White House. He's sitting there just chilling, eating a sandwich, tweeting, watching all this unfold. You can pretty much see his face right now, just sitting there smiling with a smug on his face, like sitting there like, yep. Right? This is all, again, more of what we've already witnessed in terms of, there's two types of America. There are two types of America. Right? And so, as they say, they reap what they sow. And this is going to be an issue throughout the night where this is going to carry on. Right? And we'll see, right? Exactly if this turns up later in the evening or maybe not. Right? Or maybe not. All I know is that, right now, this is again something that's unprecedented. This is, the white mobsters of the 50s and the 60s, but with throwback jerseys on and, you know, Apple iPods in your ears and technological self. This is that old mobster crowd back in the 50s and the 60s, right? Those ones who want to have, the principles of the American being set in a way where they get to decide how things are positioned or whatever. Again, this is what we've all sat here and said at some point, if it ever happens, if it goes down, hey, we would like to see exactly how this thing unfolds. Well, guess what? It's happening. It's happening right? And no one of what they call the so-called quote unquote law enforcement side of the house is really doing anything about it. These people has pretty much just gave up and said, let these people have it. This is part of their quote unquote amendment rights. And when black babies are getting shot down, black men are getting shot down, black women are getting shot down, and people say, you know, hey, we're tired of this happening consistently over and over and again. So we want to go to Washington to say, hey, do something about it. There's military presence around the entire city, locked down. They got National Guard staggered across the Capitol steps buildings in a formation form to let you know, don't even try to come this way with that Black Lives Matter stuff. We don't care about your black bodies being laid out on the street leaking. We don't care about all that. But you got people literally that are now defying the Constitution terms of constitutional law in an election who overrun the Capitol building with violence. Scaling the walls with paratrooper cords, going over the building walls with paratrooper cords, breaking in the windows, smashing, tearing up furniture, clashing with the so-called security agents and police people and Secret Service members inside, and ain't no bullets being fired. Getting hit across the head with bottles, meaning the police side of the house, fighting them, hooking them, you know, and then they just swing it back with a couple batons, and still you're not seeing people being rushed to the ground and being arrested. This is the part of America that a lot of people like to act like that's not relevant. This is the part of America people ought to try to, you know, turn their head to and say, you know what, you know, that stuff don't happen. These are good, you know, good citizens here. These people are good law-abiding citizens. These are the people who call your children, right, your loved ones, thugs because they refuse to get shot in the back, refuse to have their babies laying in the streets leaking for doing nothing, but they will call you and your family members thugs and savages and look at these animals because they want to protest against police injustice. These are the type of people right now that's at this rally that has overtaken the Capitol building. If I'm lying, I'm flying. So yes, it is very racial because again, it's polarizing to let you know that a lot of people who've always tried to act like this stuff doesn't, you know, that is not real. Of course, it's real. There's two types of America. People act like it's not, especially for a lot of black people who refuse to take ownership of the reality that you don't have the privilege that everybody else have. And if you think you do, you are mistaken. You're suffering from delusions of grandeur. You think you protected. You couldn't dare even try to pull something like this off. Well, you could if you was really about that life, but of course, a lot of our people don't have backbones like that. They rather acquiesce and understand that it's better to go along to get along than to really affect change. These people, whether you again know that they're doing what they're doing at the level they're doing it from a federal, you know, federal insurrection aspect, these people in their mind are practicing their what? Their amendment rights. Our people don't want to be discomforted for scenarios like this. We don't want to, you know, cause any, you know, any trouble. We're afraid to get our nails chipped and our hair messed up, right? We want to go back to watching Power and Love and Hip Hop and the football and basketball game. We ain't got time for stuff like that. We want to suffer in silence, right? We just want to march, you know, up and down the street yelling, don't do this. These people said, oh, we going to rally, march to a destination and overtake it. Simple as that. We're going to rally the troops, march to our location of interest, and then overtake it. And dare them to call the army in, dare them to call police in, dare everybody, because we willing to what? Go down for what we so-called quote unquote, even though what we know they're believing in is a lie, but they're willing to go down with what they believe in. While a lot of our people again stuck on World Star, you know, hip hop, watching TMZ, stupid stuff. being entertained by trivia trash. And this is happening right now. So this is a clear example where people can never say, especially in America. I'm saying, and I'm speaking to my family here, my black family here. Well, you can't tell me that if people are fed up and they're sick and tired, and you want to affect quote unquote change, be it right or wrong, nonetheless, if you stand with a base, then don't tell me that you can't invoke uh, a level of power to make things happen. This is happening right now in my backyard. These people overtook the Capitol building. Not some little cap. They ain't like they overran the Smithsonian, right? Or the National African American Museum or something like that, or the monuments down down in the tidal basin area, right? And just set up shop. No, these people overtook a business that was in progress at this point in terms of the Senate House chamber that was conducting business. They overtook that, disrupted that process, and overtook those chambers. Overtook those chambers with fists and feet. They overtook those chambers with fist and feet. And the law enforcement laid down. For the most part, no real true show of force. Nobody being fired upon that was getting hit in the face and all that stuff. I mean, the police all getting swung on. No one's getting shot in retaliation, none. They practicing everything they can in their power to restrain themselves from firing on their cousins, their aunts, and their uncles, and their brothers, and their sisters, and their granddads, and their grandmothers. They basically trashed the Capitol building. It's no prestigious than a Motel 6 right now. None. Okay, yeah, we got some other news coming in. They're talking about now that there are people now who now, obviously in this last hour, are trying to grow a conscience. There's news out there saying that they're saying certain aides that work actually at the White House right now are making a grand stand to resign literally right there on the spot. They're sitting there serving Trump right now while he's sitting in the dining room area, and these people are now wanting to walk off the job. They've watched all this stuff unfold, but now they want to have this so-called fake outrage, and now they want to quit. You got aides that work at the White House are now putting in resignation papers right now on the spot and wanting to resign. Right? Again, this is the two Americas. If you are a white person in America, this is the fabric of the privilege that a lot of people who are my descent have always spoken about. There are two types of America. America's out there in terms of North America. Those that are seen through the eyes of white citizens and those who are seen through the eyes of black citizens. Couldn't make this stuff up. Couldn't make this. They still got people that's in the Senate right now, Senate chambers, still hunkered down in between seats. These elderly old congressmen are hunkered down, but still underneath, in their seats and stuff, hitting and they can't do nothing. They can't do nothing. Right? Because they're now being suppressed by the ideal of this mob, ratcheting it up and taking it to the next level. Right? Ratcheting it up and taking it to the next level. And you guys know what I know. Things get real funny when the sun goes down. Right? Things get real. It get real when the sun go down. What's going to happen when the sun go down if they haven't cleared all these so-called House of Representatives and Senate chamber members up out of these halls up out of there, and these people feel like now it's going to really get crazy because now you can barely see, and people get desperate when they don't have all the potential options they need to kind of protect themselves with. Right? So, and Fox News reporting it from a very what? Oh, this is like business as usual. Their commentary is very not like it would have been if it was a Black Lives Matter protest that was just saying, hey, we're tired of seeing our babies getting shot. Y'all gonna do something about it? Oh, look at these, mobsters of black protesters of the Black Lives Matters, and look at them. Again, I don't support Black Lives Matter to that level. I support the ideology that Black lives do matter, but not the organization, right? But they would dare not have the privilege to have something like this happen. They would dare not be. I mean, again, you see the flags being flown. F Biden, F Biden, right? You see what I'm saying? This is again. This is the two Americas, right? And so again, Trump is getting exactly what he wanted. They played this in his mind. He played this perfectly. He's getting exactly what he wanted. These people disrupted Congress. They've overtaken the actual top chair, and no one is doing nothing. Again, no kind of rage, none of this stuff. It's business as usual. No big deal, right? No big deal, right? Couldn't make this stuff up, guys. Couldn't make this stuff up, right? So as this thing, goes on, right? We're going to see exactly how they're going to proceed going forward, right? In terms of how they're going to deal with the scenario when they looking to try to what? Squash it, right? How they're going to particularly squash it. Seems like pretty much that is pretty much, they're okay with it. They're okay with it. Yet they need the military as a show of force when Black Lives Matter people, or just, I'm not going to use the word Black Lives Matter anymore. When black protesters show up to protest, against police brutality and injustice and things of that nature that's actually affecting them, they get the National Guard deployed on them, right? It's one guy, they showing pictures now with somebody that overtook Nancy Pelosi's office. He's sitting in her chair, got his leg kicked up on the desk. A Trump supporter, a MAGA Trump guy is in Nancy Pelosi's office with his leg kicked back in her chair right now. It's that kind of scenario of anarchy. And guess what? It's all gravy. It's all gravy, baby, as they say. No need to do anything because these are some good Americans. These are some good white Americans right now. These are good white Americans. They done nothing wrong. They deserve to be there. This is their constitutional right. They've done nothing wrong. Let them have it. Let them have it. Couldn't make this stuff up, guys. Couldn't make this stuff up. So, I say to you guys today, I say to you all today, don't never ever open your mouth. If you are the type of black apologist, intersectionalist, anybody of that nature that tries to amalgamate everybody else's issues along with our issues, don't never open your mouth and do that ever again, unless you have the gall to pull a move like this. Because obviously, if you bought that life, then go be about that life. Stop placating and trying to water down what black people doing in this country and how we suffer, right? And you ain't really about really invoking change. You want to be comfortably, overlooked through redlining, benign neglect, and police brutality. Now, you want to overlook those things, right? And people who are out there that's trying to do these kind of things or make the kind of change out there, don't you never sit there, open your mouth and say, y'all need to go ahead on with all that black stuff, right? You need to stop all that black stuff. You need to, you always talking about some old black stuff. Like, black stuff? What you want me to talk about? This? That's on my screen? Seeing these people, again, do what they feel like they need to do, and that's in their mind, to invoke the change that they feel like they want, which is obviously unjust in this case because of the election. But you think they care? You think the people out there care about any of that foolishness? That seriously? These people came there with an agenda, and they're not leaving. They're not leaving. They are not leaving. And I know a lot of our white constituents and buddies that we hang out in our little investment group. I know they feel some kind of way right now. But just keep in mind, this is the reality of life. And when when you hear a lot of people that actually have a real, true, just reason to say, "Hey, man, we tired of this happening. We tired of this," you might want to stop and listen, because right now you're seeing people overtake and overtake a federal building that just have an issue because they feel like their little ballot didn't stand for what they want it to be. A ballot, as if this like this is like a do or die moment. If they their guy don't contend to hold or seat the president of the United States. It's not like a life is being lost or lives being lost, and this is a quote unquote so-called quote unquote democratic process. So I want to see these people being called what? Supremacists. I want to see people call them thugs. I want to see people calling them anarchists. I want to see people calling them hoodlums, ratchets. I want to see a lot of my white constituents calling these people here everything under the sun that they've called black people for lesser scenarios that was obviously just in terms of what they was protesting about. If not, don't never sit there ever again by a black person or to a black person for trying to defend themselves in the eyes of racial injustice, again, discrimination, any of those things. Don't you dare open your mouth ever again to say something after what we're witnessing today. Don't dare open your mouth. If you do, we're going to call you out. Because these are your uncles, your aunties, your cousins, your grandparents that are out there today stopping a quote-unquote democratic process that y'all voted for in a lot of ways, whether you was against the other side or not, but that you obviously subscribe to. When you always saying, "Oh, I love America and I love this and it's the greatest country, this, and how dare y'all go against America." And when y'all say stupid stuff like that to black people that's being mistreated by it, how stupid do you look now? How stupid do you look now? See, this is moral. This is ethical. This is a swipe at people's consciousness in a lot of ways, or the lack thereof. Or the lack thereof. So the entire city or province, I should say, or corporation of DC has been shut down right now. They've evacuated people all up and down, the different streets around in Washington. Y'all know we have a lot of, Michigan Street, Florida, Georgia, all these little, all that stuff. A lot of these places close down the Capitol Hill, all this stuff been already evacuated. People that live in those areas that were quote unquote fearful of their lives, they've been evacuated. The perimeter aspect between Maryland and the DMV area, Virginia as a whole, all the areas have been kind of quarantined, cordoned off to certain areas where you can kind of get in and out of the DC region. So traffic is already horrible. It's even worse today, even with during the middle of a pandemic. To get inner city down there, don't even waste your time at this point. Again, This is the two Americas that people have been talking about for a long time. This is the two Americas. So I'm gonna need, and I'm speaking strictly to my base right now, I'm gonna need black people to shut up or put up. Because you can have no comeback unless you bought that life. You gonna march till you wear the soles off your shoes, and these people still gonna what? Look at you like, okay, good for y'all. Good for y'all. Was it worth it? Did you have fun doing that? Okay. Still bills denied. Right? So it's about time we come up with some other different avenues. So again, I'm just gonna allow the visuals or the optics to speak for themselves. I'm going to allow the optics to speak for themselves. Right? Now here's what's interesting. There's more breaking news that's coming out. There are other state capitol buildings around the country right now that are also now starting to be raided. They're saying there's other state houses, capitol buildings in their respective states are now starting to be potentially raided by MAGA and Trump supporters. So I don't know to what extent, how many states, which state at this point, but there are now tweets coming out that they're saying that other state buildings around the country are now being protested, and if you want to call it raided or whatever, all that stuff is just happening. And then again, it's like this is business as usual in America. And the stock market ain't even trying to sell off, really. And the stock market it barely even act like it even want to sell off, like it don't even care. Like, okay, it shows you these people they don't care. These people are greedy, disgusting, and they can care less. They want to have their cake and eat it too. Even the stock market want to have its cake and eat it too. After they cried that they didn't want a Democratic sweep, right, a blue wave, they was gonna crash the market and everything, and then people turned around and ran the market up today, over a point and a half, 0.7%, 1.7%. These people ain't loyal. These people are opportunistic parasites. They frauds. That's who the real frauds are. They're frauds. So again, this is going to be interesting for the rest of the evening. Again, I want to come on live to, provide my little scope a little bit into what's going on. Of course, I know you guys are making your own assumptions and your own opinions about this, and that's fine. Of course, I'm not coming from a place of, the judge, jury, and executioner. I'm just explaining this from a place where I'm like, this is some of the stuff that a lot of us have already kind of said in the back of our heads before. Like, it's two types of America here. It's always been that way. Ain't that no secret, but a lot of people just afraid to accept that. Again, they didn't drunk the Kool-Aid and they like, I'm all fine with it. I'm like, okay, well, you know what? This is why we do what we do. This is why we don't play those, reindeer games any longer. This is why we're not sitting there trying to acquiesce to being somebody stepping fetch on a job any longer. This is why we're trying to figure out ways to get our own money. We're trying to become more entrepreneur minded because we don't want to have to deal with people that have leverage and power over us in a way where if something like this was to pop off, and you get disrupted because of a job or something like that, you can't even function. You can't even function. This is why we're on the paper chase. This is why we're saying we're done with playing this old American game. Go to school so you can get an education, so you can get a good job. Like, stop. Like, get out of here with that old slave talk. That slave narrative. We don't hear that trash no more. These people got resources to show up in Washington from all around the entire country. Some people out of the country that came here today, the so-called to protest the election. They were prepared. They were organized. and they made their move. They made their statement. They shot. They shot their shot. And yet and still here it is. This happened hours ago. There's still no police presence, heavy police presence. There's still no National Guard, right? No military presence. Like they show up when they come to, one guy in the hood, income armored tank, police cars, and all that stuff. Man, you barely see any of that around Washington right now. One of the most secure places on the planet is DC. Don't make no mistake about it. One of the most heavily policed places on the planet is Washington, D.C., because of all these so-called dignitaries and all other, people from different countries and ambassadors and all that. It's one of the most highly policed places on the planet. And it's been overrun by these white thugs, white Trump MAGA thugs, right? And everything, it's just business as usual. No big deal here. This is all fine here. Just turn the other way. Look the other way. We got this here. These thugs right here, the Trump hooligans, these ratchets here, right? These ratchets here, and it's all good. It's all gravy. It's all good and it's all gravy, right? So this is what we talked about last night, guys. We already premised this conversation. We already told you about the three different types of what? Republicans going forward. These people are Republicans. There are three types. They're the Trumpsters now, the MAGA crew. There's the Rhino Republicans, the old guard, the vanguard, and the new Republican neo ones who are looking to break away from all this silliness and try to not acquiesce to understanding everybody else's scenario and how they failed in being able to galvanize a new outlook about how they need to go about presenting policy and this, that, third. There are three types of Republican factions right now. That divide has been solidified today. That divide has been solidified today. It is official. The Republican Party is no longer a one body of work institution in its entirety. This is the Tea Party 2.0 all over again. With a whole new different set of what? Ideology and anger and resentment and then some. And then some. Again, the pictures of the Black Lives Matters, the organization of it, whatever it is, right, will show up and to try to obviously push an agenda like we're tired of, people, taking my people out and this, that, and the third. Okay, yeah, that's, that deserves, National Guard, right? That regard, I mean, that's the thing. We need the National Guard to come in here when it's that kind of scenario, right? Couldn't make this stuff up, right? Couldn't make that stuff up. You get, again, armored police cars, again, assault weapons at the ready on you, right? These people didn't even want to even pepper spray these people. They were trying not to even pepper spray these people. They get hit all in the face and upside the head, and the police people didn't even want to spray them with pepper spray. Barely wanted to even spray them with pepper spray. Not making this up. Not making this stuff up. They interrupted the process of electoral college vote. All the paperwork all that stuff being torn up, ravaged. So all that stuff, again, they can reprint it, of course, but they disrupted business. And it's like, this ain't no big deal. Right? Ain't no big deal. So again, insurrection 2021. Insurrection 2021. It's going down live. It's going down live. And Washington is pretty much a third world country right now. Washington, D.C. is pretty much a third world country right now. Simple as that. Right? So let's see. Let's see if we can find a couple little news. Let's see if anybody, any of these dignitaries want to, provide any commentary. Let me see. I think they got Joe Biden get ready to speak here. Let me see if I can find this here. Bear with me, guys. I got like a million screens open. I'm working because I was trading. Yeah, it's that bad, right? It's that bad. Right? It's that bad. All right. So 1 second here. Let me see if I can swing over to this real quick and hear what he got to say, right? Because this is going to be monumental of what he gonna have to deal with. Excuse me, guys.
Assault on most sacred of American undertakings, the doing of the people's business. Let me be very clear. The scenes of chaos at the Capitol do not reflect a true America, do not represent who we are. What we're seeing are a small number of extremists dedicated to lawlessness. This is not dissent, it's disorder, it's chaos, it borders on sedition, and it must end now. I call on this mob to pull back and allow the work of democracy to go forward. You heard me say before in different contexts, the words of a president matter, no matter how good or bad that president is. At their best, the words of a president can inspire. At their worst, they can incite. Therefore, I call on President Trump to go on national television now to fulfill his oath and defend the Constitution and demand an end to this siege, to storm the Capitol, to smash windows, to occupy offices, the floor of the United States Senate, rummaging through desks, on the Capitol, on the House of Representatives, threatening the safety of duly elected officials. It's not protest, it's insurrection. The world's watching. Like so many other Americans, I am genuinely shocked and saddened that our nation, so long the beacon of light and hope for democracy, has come to such a dark moment. Through war and strife, America's endured much, and we will endure here, and we will prevail again, and will prevail now. The work of the moment and the work of the next 4 years must be the restoration of democracy, of decency, honor, respect, the rule of law, just plain, simple decency. The renewal of a politics that's about solving problems, looking out for one another, not stoking the flames of hate and chaos. As I said, America is about honor, decency, respect, tolerance. That's who we are. That's who we've always been. The certification of the Electoral College vote It's supposed to be a sacred ritual to affirm purposes, to affirm the majesty of American democracy. Today's reminder, a painful one. Democracy is fragile. To preserve it, the courage to stand up in pursuits of their own selfish interest at any cost, but of the common good. Think what our children watching television are thinking. Think what the rest of the world is looking at. For nearly 2.5 centuries, we, the people, in search of a more perfect union, have kept our eyes on that common good. America is so much better than what we've seen today. Watching the scenes from the Capitol, I was reminded as I prepared other speeches in the past, I was reminded of the words of Abraham Lincoln in his annual message to Congress, whose work has today been interrupted by chaos. Here's what Lincoln said. He said, "We shall nobly save or merely lose the last best hope on earth." Went on to say, "The way is plain, peaceful, generous, just. A way which, if followed, the world will forever applaud and God must forever bless." The way is plain here too. It's who we are. It's the way of democracy, respect, decency, of honor, and commitment as patriots to this nation. Notwithstanding what I saw today and we're seeing today, I remain optimistic about the incredible opportunities. There has never been anything we can't do when we do it together. And this god-awful display today is bringing home to every Republican and Democrat and Independent in the nation. We must step up. This is the United States of America. There's never, ever, 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 ever been a thing we've tried to do. We've done it together, not been able to do it. So President Trump, step up. May God bless America. May God protect our troops and all those folks in the Capitol. We're trying to preserve order. Thank you, and I'm sorry to have kept you waiting.
So you guys heard that.
I am not concerned about the safety and security of the inauguration. I am not concerned. The American people are going to stand up. Stand up now. Enough is enough is enough.
You hear that? Can you? Did y'all hear that? Do you hear what was not said? Did you not witness the tone or the lack, right, of the level of uh seriousness, right? This one second here, guys. Let me cut this off. I'm sorry. Volume off. Right. You notice that you did not hear the type of things that you know or the language, right? Or the inflection in the voice to allow people to see the sense of urgency in this. Did that sound like a level of sense of urgency? Right. Of course, he's trying to be this so-called quote unquote statesman energy, but it's like little too late now at this point, right? This is like seriously, right? Now all of a sudden you got a few people that of the National Guard finally trickling in here and there, a few, but they're only on the inside of the building to somewhat only protect these so-called high-priced target, politicians. Outside, no, don't see them nowhere around the entire building. Right? Nowhere around the entire building. Right? Again, no matter where you turn around, these people were planning for this. These people planned for this. They were ready. And they didn't wait. They weren't asking for permission. They went and did what they felt like they needed to do. I mean, look here. You got channels like this going live right now. This guy right here, that's obviously he's making money off his guys or the notion of the ideology of his guys storming the building right now. He's sitting there getting, super chats. Yeah, this is what we want here. Take back America. We're going to save America. And we're going to live stream it. Look at this mess.
Today, we want Nancy Pelosi's resignation. We want Mitch McConnell's fucking resignation. We want you down. We're not putting up with this. I need to tell you Resign, my kids! Resign! Resign, Nancy Pelosi! She's nice. What a nice lady. But anyway, that guy there, he started it. I'm sorry. I'll go investigate this situation. People like. Thanks. This first went down. There's a capital sign.
Well, I was trying to give you guys a view of what it looks like from the ground, but it keeps freezing when I swap it.
So bad and so evil. I know how you feel. But go home and go home in peace.
Did y'all hear that trash? Man, this dude a phony. He a big fat phony. Of course, we know that. He just did this little dusty little sound bite after people started calling him out, saying, "Do something about your white thug mobsters," right? He gets up and does a little dusty little, just saying basically just go home and go home in peace. They get a pass. These people don't get to go to jail. They don't get to none of this stuff. They just get to do what they just did, damage the building, tear up the house, and go home in peace. And they lock scores and scores of black people up just for protesting injustice. Just lock them up. Just like, no, we're going to we got to arrest you. You slightly bumped into one of my police officers. That means I got to arrest you. They got bullhorns and Trump bandanas. These people ain't going to jail. They ain't nobody trying to rush them off the jail. Nobody really trying to clear them out. It's people that's in the Senate right now that's still hunkered down with gas masks on and dug in like ticks, and they can't even get out of there. And these people outside with bullhorns and again, man, look. Man, look.
Don't recommend. Proof of vaccination will never be required, ever, for anything. Running in school. School districts worldwide infected immediately with the kids prepared for full in-school learning. Government and police are not the enemy. Police and government are being used as a means of control and fear against the citizens. Everyone involved with the corruption will turn themselves in, or the citizens will assist you. I can't promise you it'll be pretty, but it will be just. Yes, sir. All taxes, fees, tariffs, duties, and tolls deemed unnecessary by the citizens will be eliminated. Taxation is fast anyway. All debts, public and private, contracts, and obligations, and any
Ending of the light. End of the day. Will be wiped clean. Yes, literally. Extinction and economic reset. Sir, what is your name? Everyone will be free of debt, and we'll start back at zero. Sir, what is your name? Retribution! Everything on earth will now be 50% off. What? In every market. From materials to manufacturing to shipping to retail, all the way to the consumer. Every single person gets a break. What is your name, sir? What's your name? What is your name, sir? It's like, can you please say your name again? That's correct. Income. And people will be spending more money. Making us a difference for the loss. Can you tell us your name, please? Who are you? Thank you. What is your name, sir? I'm calling from military installation. There are no longer territorial authorities. We will now be free. The rodeos. What is going on? What is this, dude? What's this happening? What's he talking about? He said a bunch of stuff that are going to happen. And when we started being all involved, he said all goods will be They said that they were going to the coronavirus would kill us approximately. I don't know. That was some weird stuff, man. Woo! 17 million people. America. This government is holding the rock. President Trump is going. I'm thinking of the president. I'm going to tell everybody in the car exactly the one reason why Trump had to go. Everybody knows it. All right. Sir, all right, what's the question? Back up here. Can I see your sign? Excuse me. Can I see your sign?
So I just figured out they put the building in lockdown because there was a woman shot in the chamber. When they all entered the building, one of the it looks like a police officer who was armed shot one of the protesters, one of the patriots. I don't know if she survived it or not, but if you join the Discord, I just posted the video. You can watch it happen. I'll post a link for the Discord right now.
Rerun the fucking show because we came in the door. It's not over. What we did was walk in the door. We are still going to vote, and we still have to continue to show our support to Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the only one that continues to be fighting for our liberties, for our Constitution. We have to continue on show our support.
Sorry, guys, got to plug in my phone. Thanks for coming, everyone. Welcome to all the new people. I appreciate all the mods helping out. What a historic day. What's there to even say about it? I recommend you look into this guy called Jesus Christ. That's my plug. Also visit freedomscoop.com. Actually, you guys broke the site, so maybe you can't, but subscribe to my channel.
I'm gonna see if I can find another feed. I'm seeing all the DC feeds go down right now.
It's choppy, guys. Sub to the channel in case it gets taken down. Sub on D-Live too. Might go down. Cop cars everywhere. There's on the perimeter. There's been rumors of the National Guard coming in, yo. I don't know. But if this goes down, I'll go on Periscope. And if that goes down, I'll go on Twitch or Instagram. Walking on my backpack, and then I'm gonna get back on my feet. Get up, this is a bad spot. Chilling. Let's get this focus going again. There we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Capitol. Welcome to the swamp. He's saying Trump just tweeted telling everyone to go home. I doubt it's going to happen. So I'm on Instagram. I'll see your guys' chats. So I'm streaming on Instagram, Steven_ignoramus. So I can see your guys' chats. Chats is disabled on YouTube, so if you guys want to get over there, give me a follow. And I'll be able to see what you're saying. Just trying to communicate with you guys because it's not as good if I can't see. What's up, y'all? Welcome, welcome. Got my Instagram people. What's up, what's up? I'm doing what I can, Thorodox. Thank you.
I don't know who's lying to the camera guy. The last thing Trump tweeted says, "I am asking for everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful, no violence. Remember, we are the party of law and order. Respect the law and our great men and women in blue. Thank you." That's the last thing that Trump tweeted.
I don't see any National Guard yet. I'll let you know when I do. Yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be here when I get here. I was one of the last ones in there. I was one of the 10 or 11 last people in the Capitol. Hey, Trash Bando. Hey guys, what's up? It's good to see you. It's there's no people in this video. Welcome. Well, I'm streaming here because I have my phone and my drug dealer phone, of course. I was in, so whoever said that on Instagram, I was inside for over an hour. We were all inside. There were hundreds of people inside the Capitol. I don't even know if I'm like incriminating myself. I don't know. We got in the back door of the Capitol. Okay. There's no, I can't make mods on Instagram. There's no mods. Oh, Jazz, I love you, brother. What's up, everybody? What's up? Again, people on YouTube, get over on Instagram if you want to ask questions. What's up, Tyler Finder in the UK? I saw you sharing my stuff. I appreciate it. Shout out. I was on Reuters, CBC, and stuff. There's still a lot of cops in there. How do we let peacefully and shut it? I mean, I don't know, man. Right wingers are mostly like, I don't know. These cops are also right wingers. It's very complicated. I'm gonna do a stream tomorrow about this whole thing.
Where are your legislators? Where are your legislators?
Thank you, Buster. I know you do.
So I just seen Trump's video telling people to go home. I don't know. It looks kind of suspect to me, but I don't know. It's pretty unbelievable considering he's the one that told everybody to march to the building in the first place.
Yeah, Trump just tweeted out saying he wanted to get people going. I'm not just going to shout out two random girls. No, I don't get that. No! Oh, what's up? Stop. What's up? Great musician. Shout out to you.
Donald Trump has asked everybody to go home. Donald Trump asked everybody to go home.
I'm going to play the audio from his tweet so you guys can hear it.
I know your pain. I know you're hurt. We had an election that was stolen from us. It was a landslide election, and everyone knows it, especially the other side. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened, where they could take it away from all of us, from me, from you, from our country. This was a fraudulent election, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are so bad and so evil. I know how you feel. But go home and go home in peace. All right, so let's go, guys. Come on. Let's show them what the bigger men and women. Let's show them what patriots really do when their president asks for them to stand down. And I'm going to lead by example. I promise you, as soon as y'all start backing away, I'm going to be the first one. All right, I got you. So come on, let's go. Don't do any more damage to this building, you guys. Don't do any more damage to the building.
Yeah, the video is very strange. He doesn't look like he's wearing the same suit he was wearing earlier, and he's really emotionless. Like you guys are saying, a deep fake. That's what it looks like. It does look like a deep fake. I don't know how they did it. It's from his Twitter account, so I don't know if they put him in lockdown and posted that on his Twitter or what. It kind of looks, like I said, it looks suspect.
Now, Donald Trump has everybody go home. Let's go
shit. What's up, everybody? What's up, Joe? Good to see some people I know in here, yo. Black Phillips humor telling me not to smile.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Someone just said in the chat maybe it was like a pre-recorded video just in case something like this happened. That's what it kind of looks like. I don't know why the president would ask everybody to come to the building just to turn around and leave. You saw that energy he had when he was doing his speech. It's not like they didn't know what was going to happen. It's really suspicious that that video just came out. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me because I know some people are just being loyal to Trump, but I know that there's other people that are just being patriots. They're just being loyal to the Constitution regardless of what Trump says. So maybe that's what they're trying to do. I don't know. I don't like to speculate, so I'm not going to say any more on it, but it's pretty suspicious. If you get a chance, definitely check it out on Twitter. It's the top post right now. It's a video, and in my opinion, it looks suspicious.
Restart this on Instagram. I'm headed your way. Alright, we're gonna try it on Instagram again.
Something else that's really interesting and suspicious about that video on Trump's Twitter is you can't share it. They won't let you grab a link for it or anything like that. There's something weird with that. That's very weird. It's very suspicious.
You don't get in my fucking face. I was trying to lock you down. I was trying to lock you down. That motherfucker looked in my face. That ain't the place. You heard it. You look it up on his Twitter, he asked everybody to go home. Yeah, I'm streaming from. Really? I'm streaming, but I'm not using cellular. I just data, so I don't know. Yeah. A lot of these people are just never going to leave. Yeah, we got it. People are saying that Trump did not say to go home. I heard it was on his Instagram. This guy said it's on his Twitter. I know it's now not on his Twitter. I don't know yet.
If you wanted to make money.
He said what he said, whatever. But I ain't going home until it gets more than this. More than this. I don't know. You got a plan? What's up, everybody? Welcome. Big day, huh? Huge. Yeah, super dense. What's your channel? Steven Ignoramus. I feel like I've seen it once, but I usually follow PT News and Portland Dandy. Oh, cool. Austin Zone. Yeah, I come and go. Like the riots were a big thing, and then died down. So I like Portland Dandy, but unless there's something interesting going on. Yeah. So you gotta figure out how to get your content. So like on the off days. Yeah, I mean I do it on like a daily stream with news and stuff. I only do in real life a couple times a year. Or, you know. You picked a good one. Yeah. I was inside for about an hour. See any other big thing? I saw Adam. What's his last name? Tim Pool. The guy. Yeah, I didn't see him. Oh, Adam Krigler. Yeah. I came here with Let's Be Frank. I don't know if you my friend. Now, okay, I was only 98% sure that was him. Yeah. There was some graying in the beard, but like, how many people grow out their hair Jesus long with the beard? And maybe he's got it gray. Yeah. He didn't dye it that day. I don't know. Not trying to be weird. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I was the only one in there. It was 30K at one point. I was on ABC and Reuters and shit. I woke up with 1,000 subscribers this morning. I have no idea how many I have it. I was inside for like an hour. I was one of the last like 10 people in there. What's your? Are you on Facebook? Well, no, I'm on Instagram here and YouTube here. I'm Steven Ignoramus. You know? I don't matter though. This shit is history. Can't believe today. That's right, Thorodox. No more Periscope on March 31st. So we got to migrate. Then there were 3, you know. At that point, it'll be YouTube, Twitch, and BeLive. It used to be like 8. Remember Stream.me? I was on this Russian streaming. They just keep consolidating. It's like the telephone companies, guys. Boys getting cold. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to be crazy tonight. I don't know, man. I just don't know. I don't know. Everything changes once it gets dark. And that's when the freaks come out. Sodom. Oh, man. Usually not big on staying out. It's actually nicer now that I can't. Whoa. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Sorry about the shot. I gotta put gloves
on. Right this moment, there is a mad rush in America. Apple, Amazon, Facebook does.
All right, gloves on. Cool. All right, guys. Ooh, what a day. Man, I wish we could have mods on Instagram. I didn't disable anything on YouTube. They disabled it. And I'm not even monetized. I'll never monetize my channel. I'll take donations, subscribers, whatever. But I will never monetize. DC Mayor had a press conference with that. Yeah, I'm on Steven Ignoramus YouTube right now. So I'll tell you this. I don't matter.
I can only say on behalf of the entire American process that
Justice is getting, guys! 4 more years! Sorry, guys. At least we got a little courage going. See this one? I've been doing this 20 years. You don't even know. You know what the press team is doing?
You just want to be following? Yep. It's always been about power. letting that dude unleash with a paintball gun in front of him? What the hell? Really? They just let that shit happen in front of him? Damn. They just let the dude rip on him with a paintball gun right in front of him. What's up? What's up? Good. That dude got bear maced pretty bad. Not probably did.
That was Sigurd. Got caught.
There you go.
All right. So what we see now, this is the.
So they definitely pepper sprayed it over here. Nice on that too. Yeah, I don't know where the rest of the group went. They're arresting somebody over here. Looks like they're arresting somebody right now. Big man. Lead the running man. They came out because you guys were attacking the group. That's why they came out, but oh, right there. Boop, 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 share the stream. Boop, what's up, Scotty? Hello, welcome to everybody who's watching. So, it looks like the Black Lives Matter crowd that was here before, they were back behind that police line. They got pushed back by the Proud Boys. So the Proud Boys. The tan guys, like, what are the tan guys? What are the tan guys? Are they the sheriffs? Or is it police though? Huh? State police? Okay, Black is Salem and tan is state police. Tan is state, okay. He said, we got your fucking back, just so you know. Thank you. a big fight. Yeah. What are you at? Yeah, so they sprayed a lot of mace. If anybody needs a recap of what happened, the BLM group marks over here. The cops over here are leaving too. Jared, let's go. The cops behind us are leaving too. Mason. So pretty much what happened was the BLM group started at the park down the road. They marched down here, around the cops and to the front of the Capitol. There's a bunch of patriots and people down here. As soon as they met up with the crowd down here, they started getting in each other. Yeah, we're good. They started. Are you all right?
I got a little bit of mace.
Yeah, I got a little mace too, but ain't nothing but a thing. Yeah, good. That's the guy they arrested. Good. He was unleashing right in front of him with his gun.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah, 5 feet from him, just going pop, 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 pop.
I think they'll get a dispersed team right wing, so you might want to fucking stay nearby so you can get a good shot of it.
They're gonna do what?
They're gonna disperse team right wing.
To the crowd?
Street assembly, yeah.
Okay.
They're gonna form a line and push them out. I mean,
yeah.
I've been observing the Great North American Pig for over a decade. I can tell by the winter costume.
The Great American Pig.
Yeah, it's nasty, guys. It's not a mask. Wear them.
Oh shit. I don't have time for that. Oh fuck.
If you do not disperse immediately, you will be subject to arrest. Please turn around and either leave to the east or go to the south. Failure to disperse or comply with these orders may result in force used against you, to include impact munitions and up to tear gas. Attention, this is the Salem Police Department. This has been declared an unlawful assembly per Oregon Revised Statute 166025, disorderly conduct. You are all commanded to disperse from this location immediately. If you do not disperse immediately, you will be subject to arrest. Please turn around and either leave to the east or go to the south.
You want to? I don't care.
I mean, failure to disperse or comply with these orders may result in force used against you, to include impact munitions and up to tear gas.
Oh, yeah. It got to the point where it got to the point where I was like, I'm not fucking around anymore. Like when they're talking about killing Antifa press and their press communications, I'm sorry. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know exactly.
Attention, this is the Salem Police Department. This has been declared an unlawful assembly per Oregon Revised Statute 166025, disorderly conduct. You are all commanded to disperse from this location immediately. If you do not disperse immediately, you will be subject to arrest. Please turn around and either leave to the east or go to the south. Failure to disperse or comply with these orders may result in force used against you, to include impact.
Not wearing a mask, I would not be surprised if we get tear gas today. Because the golden rule is if the cops don't have their masks on, they're not going to gas, but if they do, there's like a much higher chance.
Attention, this is the Salem Police Department. This has been declared an unlawful assembly per Oregon Revised Statute 166025, disorderly conduct. You are all commanded to disperse from this location immediately. If you do not disperse immediately, you will be subject to arrest. Please turn around and either leave to the east or go to the south.
What the fuck?
Failure to disperse or comply with these orders may result in
the Capitol. Right, like on this side, or being on that side, with, you know, what we got. Yeah, no, we have to stay on this side, but look, there's only more to come. We can hang out. So so you might not be able to see it on the field. We're seeing another wave of cops coming out of the Capitol building. We're gonna see what happens with that. It seems like, I don't know, I don't want to say that. The BLM side looks like they may be dispersing a little bit out of the area, but I'm not sure. And then everything you see over here on the left, that's all the Proud Boys, the right wing side. I really gotta not use that shooter.
Alright. Big group of cops lining up back here. They're ready to make a play.
They actually have real fucking guns. They're not big right there. Yeah, the ones with the military shit.
Okay. Hey! The cops and Camo have real guns out. Yeah.
That is not a paintball gun, bro. That is real guns that they're fucking using. Come over here. That's a real gun. Because the MP5.
I was gonna say it looks like an MP5.
And it's not just one, it's like multiple have them.
Okay. Multiple cops are carrying MP5.
Should get arrested right here, Tiger. What? Tiger. What the hell? Probably coming there.
My rights is being violated, but that's all right.
We have young men in the audience that just want a civil war. We don't want a civil war. We don't want bloodshed. We want peace. And we told you that in the rally all day today. And it's peaceful. It's not going on. Now, I don't know about you, but I took it out to the Constitution. And when I got out after 35 years, that oath never expired. These men took it out. They're not here for Kate Brown. They're not here for their head sheriff. They're here to keep the peace. They still believe in peace or revolution, but they also have thrown their orders. We are not, it's not our job to try to be the police. That's their job. They are trained to do what they're doing. They don't all like what happened a couple weeks ago. They didn't want to step on pirates. No! We're not here to Those things got out of control. We got law enforcement. We do want peace. We want peace. We want peace. That's what we want. So what we need you to do, Rob, what is your plan to do with everything?
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta clear the streets. Everyone clear the streets. We gotta take the car. Everyone clear the streets.
Listen, didn't you hear him? You gotta clear the street.
I'm in a fucking parking lot, bro. This isn't the street. See that? I was like, yo, Elliot. He's like, whoa, my name's not Elliot. Yeah, it is, bro. I got a bunch of bad boys standing right here, like it's sleeping on 30 of them.
Looks like police are moving out.
Alpha, line formation right here. The edge of the road.
Looks like none of these officers have gas masks on.
You don't let us leave? You keep going out, we got a flash on. back, please. Can I fucking leave? You're stuck here. They won't even let me fucking leave. They said they're gonna be going inside in a minute, so. Anyone that's on, make sure make sure to follow my page.
You want to know why running on the treadmill 7 days a week doesn't work for you when you're trying to lose weight? Because it never has. And I know that's hard to believe, but it's true. Cardio actually burns.
Are we live? I don't know. What's the truth? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Hey, you need to communicate with the people. Are you in this group? You need to communicate with these people and tell us, because I can't do both. You know, yeah, and tell me. Okay. Let's ask them. Can they hear us? Can they see us?
I think it's pretty strange that video is put up there. Something's weird. Why would he tell them to march to the building to turn around and go home? And the whole reason that people... Well, hold on a second. Let's see what this guy has to say.
In D.C., where there's still quite a number of protesters, a large number of protesters walked from the Washington Monument earlier today. Several tens of thousands, at least, probably more. I'm sure you've seen the footage. A lot of them, the protesters, they entered the Capitol building. They had spent a lot of time, if we can see up here, where you see the people mostly in the yellow luminous jackets. The protesters were there until probably 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. And then the police, I assume, from up above, they fired tear gas. And then they started to come down. Everybody left. It was quite, you can even hear it in my voice a little bit now. It was quite hard to bear. I think for the people who were up here, it was even more difficult. And so we have a lot of people who started to come down, even before the tear gas. I would say that the vast majority, there's some more. I think we can see over here. We can see over here the gas. So the police they do want to, they do want people to disperse from here at the moment. So, yeah. So.
Okay, well, we don't need a recap. We know what happened. I just think it's interesting that, you know, everybody marched there just to turn around and be told to go home. I'm wondering if something happened behind the scenes and they put that video up as kind of like a cry for help. They put it up to see if people would stop. And I think that without leadership, it all kind of fell apart. I think people kind of forgot the goal here. The whole goal was to have them hear us. We don't want communism. We don't want the lies to be put out there as if they're truth. And I think once people made it in, they kind of didn't know what to do after that. It just seems weird how this all went. And now people are acting like, well, actually, it looks like somebody's injured there. Hold on a second.
Joe Biden and President Trump have released statements on the matter. President Trump, he urged supporters to go home peacefully, respect law and order. He also acknowledged the frustration they're feeling. He said, we had an election that was stolen from us. But he did add, but you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect people. We have to respect our people of law and order. He also mentioned that this was a fraudulent election, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. That was from President Trump. I believe Twitter has also blocked President Trump's tweet on it. Said this claim of election fraud is disputed. And this tweet can't be replied to, retweeted, or liked due to risk of violence. Joe Biden also with a message calling on people.
Anyways, like I was saying, instead of people standing there and demanding that their voices are heard, they just kind of got pushed out the building and walked away. It kind of looked like they folded. It's not really what I was expecting. Yeah, I know the woman was shot. You don't have to tell me. I sat here and watched it and provided it in my Discord. No need to tell me and inform me of anything. I know. It's just suspicious how this all works. So is everyone supposed to just go home and take it? Because that's kind of what it sounds like at this point. Really interested to see what happens once it gets dark. If any of you are new here, you probably may or may not have seen how DC gets at nighttime. Antifa comes out, people march down the street, lots of stuff usually happens. It's going to be an interesting night, regardless of what Trump tweeted. Not everybody's there. There's a lot of people that are there because they ultimately support the Constitution, and what Trump tweets is kind of irrelevant to supporting the Constitution. It's just my thoughts on it.
Seemingly unperturbed by the tear gas. There hasn't been any tear gas fired in a number of minutes, at least 10, 15 minutes. But again, people are... let's see. Small kid. So again, people. So people are remaining. People are remaining despite the threat of the tear gas. Again, the President Trump and Joe Biden calling on people to go home.
YouTube disabled my live chat. I don't even know if I'm live anymore. Somebody needs to write me in the Discord.
It sounds like where we go here. It's so windy out here. The tear gas really doesn't work. So it sounded a little bit more like, and it tastes a little bit more like a smoke bomb or something. It didn't really taste or feel like tear gas. Perhaps a warning shot for people, but you can see the people not really perturbed, not really annoyed by it. So. From your shot at the moment, you can see that really only people remaining with police gear, luminous jackets are left on the stairs of the Capitol building. Just about 30 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago, that was full of protesters. And then the police started to fire tear gas. people started to come down the stairs. I was quite worried actually that there were so many people coming down the stairs at one time, but I saw one person who was a little bit beat up, but I don't think anybody.
So it's telling me that my live chat has been disabled because of the things being said in the live chat, basically. Because of what people were talking about in the live chat, they disabled it. I've never had that happen before. But yeah, that's what it comes down to. So that's pretty interesting. I didn't even know that was a thing. Just more censoring, just more censorship. I guess they're starting the communism early. Guess people should have stayed inside the chamber. Shit.
DC Mayor has set a curfew for this evening from 6 p.m. I believe until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So perhaps people looking to get home before that. But for sure, less people here than were here previously.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna shut this down and go live again, because that's bullshit that they're gonna disable the chat like that. So anybody can hear me. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell icon. If you want to make sure that you're notified every single time we go live, join the Discord. The Discord is a free app that you download on your phone. Come to any of my live videos, even if we're not live anymore. In the description is the link for the Discord. It'll take you straight to my server. You'll be greeted with an automated message letting you know that you've done all you need to do to make sure that you're notified. So definitely join the Discord. Big shout out to everyone that's made donations. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you everyone that joined the membership program and purchased any merch. You guys are what's keeping the channel going. You're why I'm able to do this every day. I really appreciate all of you being here. I guess I could do these shout outs since nobody can respond to me. So just a moment. This is going to be a long list. That's 5 hours worth of shout outs. So here we go. This is a huge list. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to cover this. I don't even know how to shout all these people out. Just a second. All right, I'm going to do the best I can. This is quite the list, but I told everybody I would shout them out, so I'm going to. So thank you so much, Squish Breadcrumbs, The Sad Sauce, Stacy, Dawn, Uncle Jimmy, Tampa Kurt, Dawn, Carrie, Blind Sheeple, Fred, 69.
All right, not gonna see him call out his anarchy crew, right? Yeah, so I was trying to make a couple of moves behind the scenes while that was playing. You guys are pretty much getting the gist of everything yourself. You're hearing it for yourself. You're seeing it for yourself. You're able to make your own, conclusive decisions based upon the events that are taking place right now. Of course, this is things are happening around the country in various places. You have Seattle, Portland, Oregon. In that case, of course, Washington State. Many other scenarios around the country right now where you have these people somewhat, this stop the steal movement, right? This protest, the electoral college procedure scenario. DC, I was in an array right now. Again, you saw some people turning up a little bit. I mean, a lot of people still haven't left quite yet. They're still, letting their presence be known. There is reports. Well, at this point, you pretty much seen it yourself. I'm pretty sure you guys have. One woman was shot. One woman was shot. To the extent of her injuries, we don't know. We don't know if she survived it or not. Of course, we don't have anything at this point. There is a curfew for the city of DC, or the province. I like to say the province. They call it city, but y'all know what it is. It's the corporate headquarters of America, right? DC. There is a curfew for it. I think it's at 6 p.m. if I'm not mistaken, East Coast time. Obviously, right? So there's a curfew for the greater DC area. There again was one woman shot thus far with real bullets. Real bullets. She was one of the ones who were, I would say, I think that was storming the building. And I think they're saying that an officer fired on her, right? But that was the only one. So I'm pretty sure, like I said before, they're using everything within their restraint not to fire on these people, right? They're doing everything they can in their power not to shoot these people, not to fight these people, not to harm these so-called good white citizens of America, right? They're proving that to be true. No matter how you look at it, they're going out their way not to hurt these protesters, these thugs, these animals, these savages that have stormed the Capitol building during the middle Congress or congressional sessions. This is the end result of, how good white privilege submits itself, provides its, blueprint of how it is to be respected. And those who are going to protect them, how they're going to go out their way not to hurt them. They're literally going out their way not to hurt these people. And these people, again, going upside their heads, bum rushing them, kicking them, and all that, rush to Capitol. Again, while these high-stake politicians, keep in mind, these are so-called, quote-unquote, high-stake politicians are in there in chambers, and yet nobody's getting fired upon, no weapons, nobody, barely won't even administer tear gas. I'm like, hey, right? It's, what else can we say at this point? You know what I'm saying? What else can we say at this point? Again, you guys are seeing it firsthand. I don't want to hear no more excuses from the black community, right? From all aspects of our society, right? Those who try to play sleep, those who are asleep, those who are woke, right? We don't hear any more excuses for people saying that this is, a fair and just society. Even if you are multiculturalist, if you're intersectionalist and all these different ideologies, of course, whatever, right? We don't want to hear any more of that foolishness anymore about, this is a just society. It's a fair and just society. We don't want to hear that foolishness anymore. Of course, I know I don't have people in my, to my knowledge, my little circles run around saying foolishness like that, because we deal in logic. We deal in reality, right? We deal in reality, right? These people, again, shot their shot. They made their statement. They disrupted Congress. They disrupted, the civic duty aspect of what business was supposed to be and how it's supposed to be conducted. And I'm yet to hear the word terrorist. I'm yet to hear the word supremacists. I'm yet to hear the word thugs, savages, animals coming from Fox, CNN, NBC, CBS, ABC, entities. I'm waiting to hear that kind of vernacular, those kind of, those type of values being labeled onto these people. I've yet to hear it. This wasn't a protest outside the Capitol. These people bum rushed, vandalized it. They got pictures of these people sitting at the Congress, at the chair in Congress that they levied law from. These people is now taking selfies inside, sitting inside that chair now with a Trump flag draped over their body. And this is all fine and dandy. This is all well and whatever. And somewhere, you know, a lot of our people somewhere sleep at the wheel, like, yeah, you know. So, you know, what can we say? You know, how can we convince ourselves that we have not witnessed what we just witnessed? And still, obviously, consequently witnessing here. I mean, this thing is not over. You know, for the most part, only thing they've done thus far is just, you know, taking back the Capitol. Right? The damage has already been done, though. These people have made their statement. They made their statement. The damage is already done at this point. Right? The damage is done. You know, so and they didn't spend 2 and 3 days worth of marching. They didn't do none of that. Right? They didn't sit here and beg for people to, you know, hear them out. They had an agenda. They went and acted on it. They had an agenda, and they went and acted on it. Simple as that. You know, when we talk about getting things done, of course, we've been marching for forever and don't get nothing done. We just march. Yeah, the optics, right? We the visuals, right? Right? That's basically what it is. Right? It's the optics. Right? So again, I don't know what else to commentate on at this point, no more than the fact that, you know, this day was already pretty much spoken for before it even happened. It's already spoken for. It was already predestined. We know it again to be what it is. And hey, what do you expect? Right? What do you guys expect? Again, a day for the ages, a day for the record books. These people are still out there. They haven't gone home at this point. And again, as you can see, yeah, I got you over, Chris. You said the picture. Yeah. You know, I always try to find the right visuals to convey my messages. And so I try to make sure I'm very thorough in how I go about picking the right memes or the thumbnails if I can, to provide exactly what, you know, needs to be known. And this picture is nothing short of that. Right? It's nothing short of what we already know. This is the failed coup. The failed coup. It's the failed coup. Right? You know, and so again, you know, he done what he wanted to do. He came in as an outsider. He was not politically schooled on how politics as usual is promoted in Washington. He had an agenda. He came at it from a place that, you know, with a New Yorker state of mind and businessman state of mind. Of course, you know, he's still ratchet when it comes to a lot of his business, but nonetheless, he found a sector of society in American society that was waiting for such a day, that was waiting for such a person to come along and radicalize them. These people have been waiting in their little enclaves around the country for such a day. They've been waiting for such a day. And they finally got a chance to unleash all that pent up frustration, that anger, again, the resentment, the hate, the aspect of how insidious a lot of their twisted ideologies are. Again, they think they're right. Y'all know how that stuff go. Of course, they're gonna think that they're right. But they had a chance to act out on that. During the midst of the pandemic, people was wondering why these sporting goods stores and gunsmith stores were selling out of ammunition. People was wondering why those things were happening. Well, this is why. These were the type of people who was buying up all that ammunition, cleaned out all the shelves at Walmart, Sports Academy, and Dick's Sport, anywhere they could buy, you know, ammunition, rounds of ammunition. These were the type of people that were buying those things. We were buying, insert, you know, the typical trivia stuff that black people buy. We were buying that trivia stuff. These people were buying stuff like this. Bug out kits, right? In case it gets real, they got, you know, survival kits and stuff in place, right? They were preparing like that. We were just saying, okay, well, if anything pop out, the police gonna, you know, do his job, I guess. What? Again, loosely putting the fate of our well-being in the hands of, you know, the people that's doling the punishment and the pain on you. See how that works? Crazy when you think about that, though. Right? We have to, we're subjected to the very people, you know, not all officers, of course, y'all know how this stuff go, but we're subject to the same institution. The institution of policing in America is in itself is still a racist ideology when it comes to the profiling aspect, what it does to black folk. Yet here it is. These people can go to fisticuffs with the police department in one of the most highly secured patches of land on the planet in Washington, D.C., break into the Capitol building by force, and only one person gets shot. And that person, I guarantee, got shot by considerably what they would say accident. These people, these law enforcement, these Secret Service, they were willing to get hit across the head by these good white citizens because these great good white citizens were just, you know, performing this, you know, their constitutional right to protest and say that the election was stolen. And I mean, you guys, I mean, seriously. The failed coup. Giuliani put out a press release last night on his YouTube channel, right? Again, this is more of the same stuff. These people were egged on to do exactly what they did, and it made these people become even more wild, more savage. And you saw them scaling up the side of the walls of the Capitol building. You saw them, I mean, like this some old paratrooper stuff. These people that work at Walmart and Home Depot and Ace Hardware Store and the factories and wherever they work, these people found the resources. That Trump check, I guess, that little $600 stimulus check turned in their bus fare to get to D.C. Couldn't make this stuff up. They spent that $600 Trump check to get to D.C. to protest with their buddy, with their homeboy. And again, you know, okay, breaking news is coming out. Right? The woman that was shot inside the Capitol building, she did die. So there's the first fatality. We do have the first fatality. She's going to be considered a martyr one way or the other. She took one for the team. So that woman that was shot, she did die. This is just, you know, this news just coming out. It's breaking news. It just came out. This woman did pass away. So someone took an L today in the name of what they consider to be, again, democracy. To die for the cause. To take a bullet for the cause. Someone made that move today. Right? While again, Trump was comforted in the, you know, dining room area of the White House, sitting there tweeting, or whether he was tweeting or not, just watching all of it unfold, and like, yep, this is what I wanted. And all the MAGA fans out there were like, you know, they stole the election. They stole the election. Really believing that. If there's ever was some pseudo people in America, we just witnessed them today. if there ever was a monologue to be put forth in terms of what pseudo really means, it's captured today. When these people get home, they're going to ask themselves, was it really worth it? You know, doggone well what they're going to say. Heck yeah, it was worth it. And I can't wait to do it again. Remind me of the skits on the Dave Chappelle show, the black white supremacists. If you got hate in your heart, let it out, right? Don't let the liberal media tell you white power. What his name was? Clayton Bigsby. Y'all remember that on Dave Chappelle show? This is a Clayton Bigsby 101 all over again. Right? The ideology of it, again, you know, that part of it. Right? That part of it. And people running around here acting like, you know, hey, it ain't no big deal. You know, it's just, you know, it's just business as usual, right? It's business as usual. Right? You know, so I mean, I don't know, you know, how we're going to, well, how people are going to go forward, you know, in their mind, but this is the real deal, right? This is the real deal, right? People were waiting for this moment, right? That Phil Collins song, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life, right? For all my life. Right? They got a chance to shoot their shot. And someone got shot. Somebody literally got shot and died. Someone literally got shot and died. They had the Clayton Bigsby moment tonight. People gonna say, well, it wasn't racist, it wasn't racially charged. The ideology of what white supremacy stands for is to turn this entitlement or privilege mindset in itself is racist. To everybody else who's sitting there watching this happen and seeing how these people treated gingerly with the utmost care and concern, and here the people that actually protest for real just causes gets dogs sicked on them, water hose turned on them, bullets, rubber bullets fired on, tear gas, hit with billy clubs, National Guard sitting there standing like they finna go to war with citizens because the black protest is looked at as a threat, even though it has a purpose, a true purpose in the cause. It's still a threat to American ideology. It's still a threat to American ideology. And here it is, some 6 o'clock in the evening, no one is still calling these people thugs, terrorists, animals, savages, hoodlums, whatever. These news agencies out there still talking, acting like these people are just like, oh, that's just cousin Junebug. That's cousin Bob, right? That's cousin Billy, right? That's just Randy. You know, what would possess him to do that today? You know, in that kind of, you know, tone. Why would he do this? But you know why he's doing it, right? You know why he's doing it. And Trump, you know, dusty pumpkin-headed self, he's sitting up in the White House just sitting there smiling. Like, look at all these good citizens out there for me today. Look at all these good citizens out there for me today. These good American citizens. These patriots. Right? These patriots. And they done laid siege to these federal institutions. Laid siege to it. Right? So again, going forward, I don't want to hear no weak-minded, especially people questioning, you know, if people are willing to say, well, you know what? We can't get that same kind of, respect when we actually have just causes. I don't want to hear not one white person open their mouth ever again to say anything about a black person. We've been making these scenarios relevant for years, before the 60s. I don't want to hear it. Keep in mind, black people are reactionary to racism. More white people are what? Protagonistic and progressive with their racism. If I react to racism, it's because I don't want to be treated this way. It's not a sign of my weakness, right? Or my tolerance level, right? To obviously endure it. It's just that I'm sitting there watching Two Americas every day, and then people act like they don't see it. And as soon as you say, so we get sick and tired, start wanting to say something or do something, Mark, oh man, these troublemakers, they don't, these people got jobs. Why they ain't at work? They out here protesting, they ain't got jobs. Look at them. These thugs, these savages. Who are these same people right now that overtook Washington? That woman that died, you're 100% right, Over Sunlight. That woman that died, her blood is on Trump's hands tonight. That blood, her blood is on Trump's hands tonight. Who are they going to blame? The Proud Boys? They can't blame Antifa this time. They definitely can't blame Black Lives Matter, even though I don't rock Black Lives Matter, the group like that. I would support the ideology, but not the group. Who are they going to blame? Right? Again, this is the Confederate rising up, coming from the city of New York, by way of California, by way of Oregon, Idaho, South Dakota, Texas, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana. This is the Confederacy by way of all these northern states and all this stuff now. Forget Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida. It's the new Confederacy lives in upper state New York, some suburban area in New Jersey. That's the new Confederacy. People don't want to deal with that. Well, they're going to have to. They're going to have to. They're going to have to eat that. Again, woman died today. And no one is calling these people thugs, hoodlums, savages, animals, any of that. Not one. Let me do something real quick. Let's see. Let's look here. Look here. Look here. Let me do this real quick here. Right? Let's do a little something right here.
Of race, be advised that the following piece contains gratuitous use of the N-word. And by N-word, I mean nigger. There, I said it. For the last 15 years, a man named Clayton Bigsby has been the leading voice of the white supremacist movement in America. Despite his popularity, very few have ever seen him due to his reclusiveness, but in an effort to bring his message to a wider audience, he agreed to give his first public interview ever.
Excuse me, not sure we're in the right place. We're looking for Clayton Bigsby.
Look no further, fella. You found me.
Clayton Bigsby, the author?
What, you don't think I can write them books? Just because I'm blind don't mean I'm dumb.
How could this have happened? A black white supremacist. Our search for answers led us here to the Wexler Home for the Blind, where Mr. Bigsby spent the first 19 years of his life. Bridget Wexler is the home's headmistress.
Well, he was the only Negro we'd ever had around here, so we figured we'd make it easier on Clayton by just telling him and all the other blind kids that he was white.
I'm sure you never questioned it.
Why would he?
never left this property, have you, Mr. Bixby?
No, sir, not in many years.
What if I were to tell you that you are an African American?
Sir, listen, I'm going to make this clear. I'm in no way, shape, or form involved in any negative. You understand? Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a book signing to go to. Just open up your heart and let that hate out.
Mr. Frank, we want to see your face.
Who said that? You want to see my face? Don't be afraid. There is cookie and punch for us to enjoy. Talk about white brotherhood. Thank y'all for coming. White power!
We're told that in the last few weeks he has accepted the fact that he is a black man. And 3 days ago, he filed for divorce from his wife. When we asked why, after 19 years of marriage, he responded, because she's a nigger lover.
Did you know that the average adult has 5 to 20 pounds of toxic poop in their body?
So again, I know that's a little comedic anecdote at the moment, not, undermining the severity of this, but this is the mindset. This is the mindset. And we don't have to placate as if we don't know that that's exactly the energy of what a lot of these people went there with. They have issues with immigrants. They have issues with, again, definitely, the local black people. Of course, we're local here, right? This is, we built this. Right? We're the locals. They have issues with, a lot of policy. They have issues with the political structure. Again, these people they've been sitting and waiting for such a moment. They've been waiting for this day. They have been waiting for this day. Right? And they were able to succeed in their mind. I guess if you want to say it was it was success. And being able to make a statement that they wanted to make. Now, is it going to change the outcome of the election? I doubt it. It just made it even worse for Trump at this point. Made it even worse. Right? Made it worse for Trump. Made it worse. I have no doubt in my mind these people are going to go after him with everything they got and their power after he gets out that seat January the 20th. They're going to play this thing like a fiddle best they can. They just need to get to January the 20th to make it 100% official. And I think after that point, they're going to go after him with everything they can to make sure somebody like him never, ever, his children, Barron, Ivanka, Don Jr., the Trumps, they're going to make sure that these people never see the light of day again when it comes to Washington politics. The very nature that Trump, again, the idea that the Senate was overtaken by this Democratic runoff in Georgia, that almost but solidified it. That all but solidified it. And now it's, we're just going to have to live out these last little moments watching the theatrics and of this all unfold. Watching, the dog and pony show and just watching all this stuff just happen. I mean, it's like, hey, they got what they wanted. In their mind, they got what they wanted. These people dreamed of storming the Capitol building. They have dreamed of storming the Capitol building. These people have watched enough movies, enough Rambos, and Die Hard with Bruce Willis, right? These people have watched enough of the movies. They didn't watch enough of these movies. They were radicalized out the womb. Stop playing around. These people been radicalized out the womb. Right? And so, again, you best believe, like I said before, it's weird too. Again, pretty much a lot of stuff that we was talking about last night, you know, a lot of this stuff, we hit the nail right on the head. We're seeing it happen right today. We're seeing these things happen today. We spoke about some of this stuff last night to the extent that we're going to see it at this level. But some of the, you know, the nuances of, you know, of this, we spoke about it last night, and all of it, a day later, not even 24 hours later, it's coming to fruition. Right? The double-minded nature of Wall Street. Oh, we hate if the Democrats take the House and the Senate. We're going to get taxed now. Oh, we love it now. All of a sudden, we love it now. We love it. Oh, this is good. Run the market up. These people don't care. They are, again, parasitic at the highest level. Must be two sides. These people are two sides at the highest level. Right? They two sides. Right? You know, what can I say? You know, let's roll a little bean footage, right? Again, y'all, we're gonna go back to some of the old bean footage, right? Y'all remember this right here? It's like, let that be the last image you guys think about when you see Trump, you know, and all of his, you know, his existence, right? Let that image there be definitely that. A befuddled dink. A befuddled dink. And everybody that supported him, who was a part of this coup, again, whether you agree with it or you don't, these people made a statement. They made their statement. They shot their shot. They got the desired result that they wanted. It is what it is. Right? In their mind, it is what it is. Biden tried to take the high road. Y'all heard his speech when he came out, sounded all, you know, concerned and all that. Hey. This is one for the ages. Right? You know, so, you know, hey. What a turn of events, right? What a turn of events. All right, let me get the link real quick. You know, I didn't even plan on even being on this long. Who knew this thing was going to drag out the way that it did at this point? This is crazy, right? This is crazy. Right? But I'm pretty sure you guys are watching this stuff too, and you probably been saying to yourself, man, this is about the Wild Wild West. Right? This is something out of the Wild Wild West. Right? And as a matter of fact, we're getting ready to do the show. Yeah, Sister Monica, I just seen it. You getting ready to set up the channel for the other for the Dagger Squad channel? Sister Monica, let me see. I don't know if you're in the back chat. I guess let's get to business as usual. Let's go focus on what we do, right? Let's go focus on the market. Of course, this is national news, this is world news at this point. But we're gonna focus on what we do. Right, Sister Monica, you got the channel set up yet? For the Dagger Squad, for the Urban Economic Empowerment Show. Now we can go do go business as usual. All right, this is it ain't got enough press, enough coverage at this point, because we know the end result. We can get back to doing what we do. Right. So yeah, set it up if you already haven't already. And if anything, we'll just somewhat speak about it after we get to doing our business on that side. If we choose to have that discussion with the other side of the family too, we can do it over there. Right? I think we've kind of pretty much made our point over here today. Of course, it'll be on the live stream, whatever, for later to be viewed or whatever is necessary. But again, what a turn of events, right? What a turn of events, right? The failed coup. It's going down in history. The failed coup. Right? Trump on the way out the door. I mean, putting it all on the line on his way out the door. He putting it all on the line. He landed all on the line on the way out the door. Right? Right? Again, this is that kind of going home for Trump, right? The going home party, right? He tried to push them little checks and didn't get it. And Mitch McConnell shot him down, caused him that Senate race runoff in Georgia. And they did everything they could to pull it off, but they spending themselves in more ways we can even imagine. It's crazy. When Trump tried to come through with them checks the last hour, y'all know how it go. Let's roll some of that B-roll footage. On the way out the door. Over Marquise, I know you done popped in on the last minute. We get ready to switch over to the other channel in a minute, man. What's your take on today's events? If you got time to, share it with the family, what's your take on today's event, bro?
Oh yeah, no problem, man. So we about to go on the other show. I got links messed up, but yeah,
no, sorry.
It was crazy for me. I was trading all last night, getting to the bag. So I woke up to all this happening, just from a phone call, and I'm like, oh goodness, and it was crazy. I of course, in my experience, I've never seen nothing like. I never would have imagined that was even possible. I thought somebody would have been gunned down at the door. Like, I don't even think they would allow people to come and run into these buildings and storm them in large numbers, especially at this time. I thought that, I didn't expect it to happen. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I really just was sitting here, watching my Bitcoin bag, so it's crazy that this is happening. Also, why Bitcoin is taking off the way it is. It's surreal.
Right, because of course we broke out and breached over 36,000. Right. We saw Bitcoin get an extra $1,000 plus jump after hitting that 35,000 mark. When all this insurrection began to be really apparent that it was actually going down, right? Bitcoin turned a leg up to the upside and it squeezed out an additional $1,000, right? So again, more the reason why people are now starting to realize that the infrastructure or the power structure, the I don't know, the implied power value that is preceded through the central banking system, obviously as a whole in terms of the dollar, which been sinking and tanking every single day. It seems like for the past month, dang near, it's starting to show that kind of that inherent and apparent weakness that we already knew was going to come into fruition at some point. With Bitcoin now starting to catch more main and mass adoption value. And institutions now want to also have a fail-safe mechanism in their mind, of course, and being able to get into the crypto space. And now it's starting to happen. And the dollar is being looked at as the world USA value. So they say, you know what? Chinese people you know what? We're not even going to deal with that. We're just going to go buy more crypto. Reports are already out that the CCP has already been looking into crypto, blockchain technology for payment values to separate itself from the USA monetary system. True story. There's already talks of that stuff happening right now. These people ain't sitting around playing around anymore. Again, America's shooting this shot and it's going down in flames. Of course, we know this stuff going to figure out a way. They're going to try to find a way to hustle themselves back into some kind of form of prominence if they're able to. But who knows at this point, right? We can't say definitively, right? When you think about it, can we? I don't think so. The idea that Bitcoin could go to 100,000 seems ever more present right now than I ever thought about it could do at a point when even though I know it had a lot of aspirations and optimism behind it, but at a point when I'm seeing what's happening right now, they just added more jet fuel to the rockets. And Bitcoin doing what? Mooning on them. Y'all know y'all was sitting there right with me when we was talking about Bitcoin at $3,100. Over Chris, you're on the mic right now. You one of my witnesses. You can testify for me, right? I was telling you that Bitcoin was not going to go below $3,100. I don't know if you remember that conversation, but I said Bitcoin $3,100.
Yes, I do remember.
Right? I was like, people like, man, no, we going to 2,000, maybe 1,000, bro. We ain't going to that 3,100, bro. We good now.
Facts.
And now that joker sitting at what? 35, 36,000, 34,000?
Mm-hmm.
And Joker looking at us like, man, what y'all doing with that Bitcoin stuff? Man, nobody trust that stuff, man. Y'all gambling and all this and that, and the third, and blah, 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 this and blah, blah, that. And now, guess what? Who laughing now? Who get the last laugh now?
Dude, those of us that invested at 3,000 for sure.
See how that work? Open Marquis, you definitely know what's up. You've been crypto kid since we known you. So you know you've been in this space way before a lot of us even got into it. So we did no more than what we were supposed to do. We did our due diligence. We understood the value of the this new disruptive monetary value coming into fruition, and we put our money where our mouth was. And now people want to just not get into crypto. Now they want to chase it. Right now they want to chase it at 36,000.
Right.
And they've been watching y'all for 2 or 3 years. Say, hey man, you might want to look at this. It don't cost you much, and you can buy fractions of it. Put 5 on it. Put 10 on it. Right? Don't buy that Henny tonight. Buy some crypto work. Right? You're gonna thank me later. You see what I'm saying? So this is why we're invaluable, guys. We are invaluable, brothers and sisters in financial literacy arms, as I like to say. And there's more reason why we should rally even harder to get more solid and secure in what we do, and our knowledge, value, and everything else that surrounds this. Why wouldn't you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you, right? You know. So how say you over, Chris? Today's events. What do you think about today? What was it in your mind? What was this all about in your mind?
I say it was coming. It was predestined to happen. As soon as November 3rd, and they declared Trump lost, and then they had to do all this extra counting. What it was like a week of them doing the extra counting or whatever. It was already on notice. We seen, all across the U.S. Trump supporters driving around the city, in big groups, I guess trying to threaten or, scare people because, they're a Trump supporter and he didn't lose and all of this extra stuff. It was bound to happen anyway. So, and I'm thinking it ain't done. November 20th, I mean, not November 20th, but January 20th is coming. And, it's going to be something that pop off that day. Maybe the Treasury, maybe the Federal Reserve this time. We don't know. Maybe the White House. So this was coming already. And the fact, the salt on the wound, the Democrats won the Senate.
Right, insult the injury.
Right, insult the injury. And the Republicans, all Republicans start turning their backs on Mr. Trump because in his mind, he really believes that the race, the presidential race, was stolen from him. I mean, he's delusional. He can't admit that he lost. I don't know what evidence he got or what he thinking, but he really trying to convince his Republican friends down in Georgia to do a recount and all this other stuff. I'm like, nah, man, it's over with. You lost. You know what I'm saying? You might as well just go ahead, pack up, head back to Florida. Then you got a whole slew of legal charges coming to you after that. Plus, on top of what you did today, inciting a riot at the U.S. Capitol. Like you said earlier, one of the most protected buildings in the world was supposedly. But
supposedly, right? We found out how easy it was to be breached today, didn't we? Or the fact that they allowed it to be breached. That's another conversation for another day.
Right. I just posted a video a while ago. They had a brother. I guess he's security or whatever. They had him at the door where the Trump supporters were. He ain't got no gun. All he got is the damn stick.
Right, he's trying to swat the people. He run up the stairs and they following behind him. He's turning around swatting and running. I saw that. I said, look at this joker. He's like, I know. You're like, man, they don't pay me enough for this fool in there. You probably cuss too. They don't pay me enough for this bull.
Right. And some people didn't understand. I get it. As black people, we know what this system is. You should not be frustrated that these white people get to go do this and get away with it because it's their world. You know what I'm saying? It's their privilege. No, we couldn't do nothing like that. Now, if we really want to be tactical and strategists, we could have used these white people as sacrificial lambs, and did whatever we was going to do, whatever the case is. But this is their world. So, of course, they not going to get, the whole National Guard standing in front of them when we peacefully protesting. But these people got tear gas and all this other stuff. They breaking into a federal government building. Like, come on.
Like this is business as usual, right? Again, that dynamic of two different worlds, right? We live in two different worlds.
Yeah, MLK said that.
Right.
And if you didn't know before, you definitely can see now that this is white supremacy, white privilege at its highest. That is a federal government building. We ain't talking about Minnesota when we people was burning up auto zones, stuff like that. This is a federal government building.
Not a state house, not even a state jurisdiction. This is a federal.
Right.
The fact that you own it and you're supposed to be in it or in it and around it in itself is a federal what? A felony.
Right. And they just let these people go home. Crazy.
Just let them go home like ain't nothing happened. You see how that work? Think about that.
I don't think the people understand, man. Y'all don't understand how high of treason or offense this is. If it was black people, if it was us, we getting shot. We not even going to prison. They ain't even taking us to prison. They shooting us on spot.
Right. We need body bags already. They already making a call to the corner and bring us an extra bag. We ain't got that. Stop by Walmart, get some hefty duffel trash bags.
Right. And then people don't understand it too. They ain't got no mask on, so they running around no mask on, all up in the spot,
sweating, pores wide open. You already know when you get the sweat, your pores open, your head is cold.
These people
Rona just sitting there like
all
jumping from one person to the next.
right. So that Rona going around. Watch it's gonna spike up over there. It's
Oh
gonna be
man, you know it. Oh, you already know it. And when these people go back to their respective little places around this country, they
right.
back to their little rat hole places. They finna be super spreaders all over again.
This is crazy. This is a crazy time in history, y'all. A pandemic, a so-called rigged election, boy. The president don't want to concede that he lost, and then you got his supporters. That was a setup, man. That was a setup. Trump can get on TV and say his little bullcrap. Oh, calm down. We still gotta, obey the law and stuff like that,
Right.
man. Dang well, you incited them people to do what they did.
Insurrection 101.
Insurrection 101. And then I'm still looking out for January 20th. I don't think this is over yet. Because
I
these
agree.
don't give up.
I agree 1,000% because you can't, I'm like I said, you guys are smart, intelligent. Y'all know so because I know these ain't the type of scenario that just, we was watching the fringe groups, the fascist groups, right? These real dug in tick type of Trump supporters watching their live feeds. Y'all were hearing what they was talking about.
Right. Yep.
Y'all was watching this stuff with me. I was going back into these kind of radical feeds. I didn't want to do the mainstream stuff because that was gonna be the watered down stuff, right?
Right.
Let's go to the eyes of the people that was a part of this insurrection. Let's see what they were thinking, how they were visualizing this scenario. Y'all was watching and listening to these people just like I was.
Facts. To top it all off, Wall Street don't give a damn.
Not one iota. Not one iota. Rocketed today. And barely wanted to sell off once the insurrection jumped off.
Right.
It's like, man, do we have to sell off a little bit? It's one of the scenarios. They're like, come on, Tim, let us sell off just a little bit. Do we have to? Is that kind of scenario? Do we have to?
Right.
Yeah, man, come on, do it. It'll look good for America. Trust me, man. Come on, let's just do it because it'll look good. Couldn't make this stuff up, guys. Look at this right here.
Crazy, y'all.
Couldn't make this stuff up. This is the dump when it was clear that the Democrats was going to win the Senate. Again, we dumped over dang near, man, at the low almost dang near a point and a half to 0.7 near 2%.
Right.
All of a sudden, all this money came out of nowhere, and now we sit up here. Excuse me, over here. I'm sorry, I went back too far. Right? Let me. I forgot trading that in with that fooling. Right here, we dumped from 372 all the way down to 366. It's like 366.84, if I'm not mistaken, was the low.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, look at all this volume right here. It spent the entire day overbought. The entire day, dang near overbought. How is that plausible?
That's crazy.
The very thing that they say they was against and scared of in terms of a Democratic Senate and House, taxation and all this stuff, all of a sudden now it's okay. See how they switch sides? See how they lied, how they set you up, right? This is why you be strategic, because that's why we long-term investors regardless.
Right.
We day trade here and there, of course, when we can. But this is why you can't bet on Wall Street and no aspect of saying that they're somewhat in alignment with Washington does or what they don't do or all that other stuff that people be trying to care about. Man, Wall Street don't care about that.
Right.
These frauds ain't loyal, right? These froze ain't loyal, right?
Right.
They ain't loyal. So again, it just grind high all day today. Destroyed anybody that was trying to get in the front of it. And after the insurrection kicked off, it barely wanted to pull back. Everybody else got hammered. I saw Tesla taking a dive. I saw penny stocks taking a dive. Everybody started diving.
Yep.
NEO, everybody just went to diving like it was no tomorrow. Apple, Microsoft, everything just went to diving. SP 500, like, man, do we have to give up these gains though? I don't want to though. This jump went from 377, 376 down to 373. At most 372, somewhere around there. It was basically 373, and then bounced. Seriously? With a federal building being stormed, a person being shot and killed, a president coup in American politics, and it only means tell me you're only going to drop 2 points after going up when you ain't supposed to have been up today anyway. These people don't care. More reasons why you need to be figuring out how to learn how to invest. We didn't broke down every particular opportunity out there for them to crash the market, and they didn't crash it. So what's that telling you? They ain't gonna do it. So when we talk about job security, seems to me the only job security I know is Wall Street. bruh. Convince me. I'm telling. Please convince me I'm wrong.
Facts, man.
People died, Hurricane Katrina's and stuff, and all that natural disaster, dirty water in Flint, war. Market's like, man, look, bro, we done found out how to cut this, man. We got the feds on our side, bro. Run them numbers, man. Man, we don't care about what happened down in Washington right now, man. Run them numbers, bro. I know we said we were gonna sell off as a Democrat sweep, but man, whatever, man. Run them numbers, bro. And not only that, it stayed overbought pretty much through the entire power hour value of the morning rush hour trader trading today. Couldn't make this up. Look at all this overboughtness. It just stayed up there all day, just grinding all day, just up to the upside. I had them 373 calls that I swung with my 367 puts. I put a strangle on that thing. I said, you know what? One way or the other, I'm going to get paid. I spoke about that last night. I tell you which ones I had, but I said I had to put in the call. I had them 373 calls and the 367 puts. I said, one way or the other, we're going to get some level expansion. We're going to move more than 2-3 points easily off this news, just the Democratic runoff news. And so, again, got paid. I was upset because I was like, you know what? At a point where I said, you know what, this thing going to pull back, right? Because after it got up there near that, 374, 375 region, I said, man, look, I don't know if I should, man, I should, sell this call and then turn around and, buy puts right here. And good thing I didn't, because it ended up grinding higher and went up to like 377. Yeah. I was so tempted. Right? I was so tempted. I was like, oh, this thing got to pull back. It's up on a full gauge and it's like this. And again, the insurrection had already kicked off, right? Because again, Trump his speech started around about 12? Somewhere around there, around after 12. Mm-hmm. Them people start storming the Capitol building around about 12:31, somewhere around there, seemed like. Mm-hmm. When it was aired apparent that they was going, they was pulling this off, and the market was still actually grinding up. Couldn't make this up. All of a sudden, they wanted to drop around about 2:20 in the afternoon. Like, man, seriously. But hey, that's the market, right? We know hey, Wall Street don't play the radio, but them some crooks there, boy. Them juggling, some crooks. Fuck it. I hate to say it, but I love it, right? My Tesla position looking swole right now, boy. That's right. You already Overcreed. You got them Tesla position too. We they've been sitting still on that Tesla for a minute. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. And it made me think about Sister Shonda, right? Because I mean, me and her was talking before she bought that one big call buy. She bought that leap call. We was on that training session with me, her, and Kiana. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, see, because again, outlining all the events that was going to come from Tesla, right? With Battery Day and delivery numbers. We were just kind of, game planning basically what we do. And so she took that position, man. She sold that thing about a week ago. And it was still, I think she bought the 21st of January. And she would have held that position. That position right now would be worth about I want to say about $30,000-$40,000 right now. Ooh, man. That call would have been worth about $40,000 right now. And that might be a little liberal. It might be a little bit more. If I go back and look at the numbers, because she cashed out around about $14,000 on it early. When it's still around in like the low 6s, right? Imagine she would have held it into the 70s where it's at now. Yeah, she would have easily made, well over. Wait. See, it's that kind of stuff. You see what I'm saying? This is why how that song go. This is how we rock, how we hot. How that song go. I forgot how it go. Whatever. I'm hot. Yeah. Yeah. So again, the market ain't showed you anything today. You realize firsthand, even during insurrections, the market still does what? It still performs. Still perform. Joker ain't got no job to go through. Unemployment number still ratchet and raggedy. Joker sitting around like, how they gonna get paid? Everybody waiting on a Trump check as supposed to figure out how to make their own check. And here it is, why we've been saying this stuff over an entire year now. And people still looking at us like, man, but I ain't sure yet. I ain't sure about this stuff. What you ain't sure about, bro? Right? You can watch these stocks go up. You can watch Bitcoin skyrocket, and you still trying to be what? A pessimist. And your pocket's starting to look a little, look a little frail. You know what I'm saying? They look a little thin. Just being honest.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why I say, we insurrect in our own way. We having a financial insurrection right now. Are we not?
Yeah.
Basically what we doing. We got serious about figuring out how a way to build our paper up. And nothing ain't stopping it, apparently, because we just saw what? A coup insurrection happened in the White House and the stock market still went up. We saw a pandemic, a global pandemic. The stock market still what? Went up. Elections that was supposed to go the opposite direction based upon the ideology of what the implication would be for the market. The market did what? Went up. What's going to bring the market down?
Yeah.
Be honest, crickets, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, ain't no use to me. As they say, don't fight the what? Don't fight the markets.
Oh yeah, you definitely can't fight the market. Ain't got enough money.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ain't got enough money to do that.
Right. You bring a slingshot to assault rifle fight. They ain't gonna last long. He ain't gonna last long. They be like, little Larry, he went out with a gun blaze. Yeah, he did all right. Larry got sprayed up with that little slingshot.
Yeah. Can't do nothing with that, man.
Yeah, man. These people got vested interests in getting their bag. They don't care about all this chaos. That's how people make money. They make money out of chaos. That's how it's always been under capitalism. That's why it's called capitalism. You capitalize off what? Somebody else's misfortune.
Thanks.
This is why they hate the ideology of socialism and spreading some of the value of the wealth around, because they need to be able to find them a prey. These are predators, sharks out there in charm-infested waters.
True story.
So I think, like I said, that's why we're going to go harder for 2021. We're going to wrap this thing up and go harder, right? We're going to kick this thing into another gear, right? We're going to get serious about those who want to be serious about this, and, again, share with them everything that we got thus far, right?
Absolutely.
We're going to recruit by way of our demonstration. That's all we got to do, is just go do what we've been designed to work hard for, and just let our demonstration precede us. Because y'all know as well as I know, this is a performance-based business. You have to go out there and perform. You can't talk this a good game. You got to go out there and perform.
Yes, sir.
They didn't watch y'all turn 15 cents to $1 so many times. If they still ain't ready yet, then guess what? Eventually they'll wake up.
Yep.
Eventually they will. But we humble. We don't brag. We don't boast. That's just not our energy, right? We're too busy trying to focus on our due diligence and learn how to get better. But I will say this again: at some point, that light bulb gonna start going off for a lot of people. They're seeing it now. A lot of people put a lot of their hopes and dreams in this so-called governmental system. They watching their government right now, up in shambles right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They watching it in shambles now. Like, okay, yeah.
Right.
Right. You see what I'm saying over Chris? Right? Sitting there playing the radio. And we're like, man, we've been telling y'all to come on, man. Let's go.
Yeah. No, they don't want to trust the market. They rather trust the government.
Man, these people here, look, they dug in like Carolina ticks, as they say. But that's fine and dandy for them. If it works for them, but for us, look at you're not going to convince us that we're not going to, be about our opportunities. Right? So I'm excited to go to war with your guys every single day, because I understand what it's like. So again, I know we're getting ready to pop off the Dagger Squad channel. Sister Mo, I think she's getting the channel set up over there. Again, I'm humbled to everybody that came through today, who offers, some content, some perspective. Again, this is something that we've never had, man. We ain't seen nothing like this in a long time. This is crazy, right? There's some craziness here. And again, it's one for the ages. But for the most part, again, we're here to see what the market's going to do, how they're going to respond to it. We're going to let them deal with that. We'll let all the press, and all that stuff do what they need to do. From this point on, let these people who are out there trying to protest the election, of course, these Republicans who started this, obviously Ted Cruz was the first one by being in the Senate to kind of okay for this obstruction with the Electoral College vote. So of course his name gonna be one of the ones that's gonna be on the chopping block. And so all these people that did that are responsible tonight. All of them are responsible tonight. So I'll be remiss to say, I'm looking forward to seeing what's gonna happen with all these so-called Republicans who broke rank for this failed coup attempt. And how the American people are going to look at these people going forward. Are they going to have short-term memories, or are they going to make sure that they never let these people, have their way ever again when it comes to political theater? That is the question. This was a civil war.
Mm-hmm.
This was their civil war in so many ways. So, hey, I'm like, man, I ain't got nothing to do with that, man. I'm just waiting on these tickers to come across this tape right now. What y'all talking about, man? I got time for that. What I tell some position there right now. Sure. I made me a bag today.
Absolutely.
Grateful to damn selves. Thank you, I got me a bag while they burning it down. I'm building it up. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? So, man, thank y'all for tuning in again. Thank you, everybody, again, from all sides, right? Again, I know a lot of our, buddies from the Discord room, this, that, and the third. Y'all like, man, Joker, man, they getting at it tonight, man. Ain't nothing we can do, but yeah, rally your troop, man. Put your people to find out what's going on with y'all people, man. Because y'all know they don't cut my people no break. We can't even peacefully protest without being, treated and looked at all kind of way. Man, look, rally y'all troops, man. And make sure they clean up the city on the way out, because they messing up all. They clean up on the way out. So that's it, guys. So let's get ready to go over to the Dagger Squad channel. Sister Monica setting up the channel over there, get live. So let's get, go do what we do best. Let's get to work. Right? Let's get to work. I think I see Tariq Nasheed. He going live right now. So a lot of those channels gonna be popping right now. So he going talking about this coup. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those one for the ages here. Yeah, this one here for the ages. That's it. So that's it, guys. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you, Oba Chris. Thank you, Oba Marquise, Sister Monica, Oba Sunline, everybody that tuning in the back chat. Thank y'all for being, again, soldiers in this in terms of what we do, financial soldiers.
Absolutely, Oba. Appreciate you. See you over there.
Everybody that supported the channel, of course, in this,